And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Manuel Grubby Schenkhuizen, and with me is still Sean Jester Delaney. How are you doing? Awesome match?
Man, that game number one, again, like that match number one, Western Ontario, Canada Pride. I am really super psyched to see them now into the Epic 8 because they're still in the running for that college tuition at the end of it with that heroic force. So a little bit of national pride coming out. It's very exciting to see, but I'm also equally excited about our next match because I actually know some of these players.
Yeah, and what are we doing here? We've got this grand competition set up. It's called Heroes of the Dorm. It's basically a competition for colleges. Over 880 teams are participating right here, and they're playing Heroes of the Dorm. We're here live from Los Angeles to broadcast this to you, and we are doing right now the Super 16 bracket. One game was just played, and Burnt Toast was victorious. Now we're going to be going to the next one very, very soon.
I mean, with over 880 teams, that's over 6,200 college students that came out to test their mettle here in Heroes of the Dorm. With the Super 16, of course, you know, this is the elite of the elite. Doesn't get much better than this until next weekend with that Epic 8. So I'm really excited to see what we're about to see.
Yeah, they got this far, but they can go a little bit further. So we'd like to show you those brackets soon there, the top 16 that are competing here. What they're playing in is best 2 out of 3 matches. We've got the Super 16 here. We see Western Ontario was victorious with a 2 versus 0 against Assumption College. Next will be University of Texas at Arlington, which call themselves Dark Blaze, and they're going to be playing against Arizona State University, the Dream Team.
Yeah, the Dream Team is actually very aptly named because the Arizona State is the number 2 pick overall for all the user-submitted brackets to actually win this entire tournament. That is a lot of pressure to put early on top of that team.
Yeah, so Heroes of the Storm, a very strategical game. We'd like to explain you about it, but we've got this wonderful video lined up for you to see what it is.
Welcome to Heroes of the Storm, Blizzard Entertainment's action-packed team brawler. Players can choose from a variety of Blizzard heroes, each with unique strengths and weaknesses, to create 5-player team compositions that support versatile strategies. These strategies are then put to the test on a diverse set of battlegrounds, each with their own unique objectives. Hire the Ghost Pirate Blackheart, summon a powerful Grave Golem. Every battleground is different and presents a unique environment for competition. However, the criteria for victory is constant. Destroy the opposing team's core. Heroes will grow in power and talent over the course of a single game as they take out minions, enemy fortifications, and of course, the opposing team's heroes. Your effectiveness at teamwork and collaborative play will make or break you.
Man, they always look so happy when that core explodes, and you know, you gotta be really, really into it. You win the match, you move on to the Epic 8, closer to that college tuition, and now we're gonna see 2 powerhouse teams because not only is Arizona State, they were picked 14% overall, making them the number 2 pick to win this tournament, but they're also now up against the Dark Blaze, which is from the University of Texas, Arlington. Now, obviously, with a kind of statistic like that under Arizona State's kind of belt, so to speak, there will be a lot of pressure for them to perform. But these guys, I've known a few of them now. They've been in multiple tournaments throughout the Alpha, the Beta. They've been together for a while, and they really know what's up here in Heroes of the Storm.
All right, so they have some competitive experience already.
They do.
They may have a bit of a lead here over their opponents.
That's what makes them the favorable number 2 pick. We're not going to tell you who's number 1 yet, because we're not going to spoil that surprise, but be sure that they are here in the Super 16.
All right, let's take a look at these teams. We see they're called the Dream Team and Dark Blaze, but let's see who is playing behind the name. Dark Blaze here has got... We're using their handles here. They've got real names. We're using their handles. This is classical. We've got D-Noob, DXM, 817, Azumil, M14W2. They're not making it easy for us. And Cladius.
Yeah. sometimes putting in those numbers, yeah, might sound a little awkward, but either way, some very solid players to make it here into the top 16 because they've had to beat out, something in order of 850 other teams to get here, over 460 different colleges. That is insane stats. This is the biggest collegiate league that I've ever seen in any of my esports career. And at the same time, free tuition for your college career? That is a heck of a prize.
Yeah, that's really unprecedented. Let's take a look at who they're going to be going up against in Arizona State University, the Dream Team. We've got AKA FaZe, Kotang, Michael Udall, Fam, and Melkor. They will be representing Arizona State University as the Dream Team.
And again, the Dream Team, they have a lot of hype going for them here. Those are some really solid players. I've seen them grow, hit those tournaments. I have multiple of them on communications. I know that they've been doing a lot of prep for this tournament. They're taking it really seriously. And with that much tuition money on the line, I don't see any fault with that.
Now, if you've just started watching, what they're going to be battling on is what's called Battlegrounds. They're going to have to win 2 games, 2 Battlegrounds out of 3. And the first one is already set. It's going to be Cursed Hollow, and we'd like to show you a little intro about how the Battleground works.
So once more, just like game number 1 of our previous match, Cursed Hollow is a bigger map. 3 lanes, a lot of space to cover. There's also a lot of space to move around in. But ultimately, you're looking to curse your enemies. You will be collecting tributes that will spawn periodically throughout various different pre-designated areas. Once you get that curse, you take out the enemy fortifications, or at least you have a really big chance to. If you can't do that, look to the 6 mercenary camps out there. They will augment your pushes, push down the lanes for you. There will also be big contention points at some of these camps during the match. You get the mercenaries, you get the curses, and you will likely take down the core.
So you use all these different resources to try and help bolster your efforts to push to the enemy core and destroy it. Kill the enemy core, and you've won the game.
Absolutely. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let us see who is going to be playing on each of these sides, because we do have the draft process ready to go. Almost unsurprisingly, though, Jaina is going to be the first pick here for Dark Blaze. She is a really powerful assassin, can really bring a lot of damage, and we've seen her now 100% in today's games.
Yeah, that is actually true. Jaina, a very powerful spellcaster with frost magics at her disposal. It's going to be the first pick. Dream Team, a draft is an integral part of both how you want to play and to even create a composition of heroes that work well together and that you are comfortable on. That decision now has to be made by Dream Team, as they will be picking their first and second hero that they would like to bring to the field here on Cursed Hollow.
This is a very standard pick order. Somebody starts off first and we go 2 all the way down to the last. That way you have a lot of strategy actually available to you. Who's your first? Who is the most important pick that you grab for that first pick, but who can you leave to the last as a counter pick? So we're going to have to see back and forth. But unsurprisingly, again, Sylvanas, the Banshee Queen, is once more entering the fray here on Cursed Hollow. And this is a very strong map for her because there's 3 lanes. We have a lot of space for her to cover. She could actually opt to not team fight, but instead be in that lane with those black arrows and just start really wearing down the infrastructure of the opponents.
Yeah, Melkor will be choosing to play on Diablo, the Lord of Terror, the strong frontliner that we have seen before here in the Super 16. Not much to say about it. He is one of the most popular warriors. Didn't used to see a lot of popularity, but as we see in these type of games, strategies keep changing, evolving, and you have to adapt. Diablo suddenly a very good and popular hero. He will be used there.
So M14 will actually take Tyrande, and Tyrande is a support character if you haven't seen her before. When she's going to come into the map, or into the battleground, she will have a variety of different abilities ready to go. She will have information control by throwing out owls. She'll have a stun, and the big thing for her is that Hunter's Mark. It will actually increase the damage an opponent takes by 20% for a short amount of time. Seeing her paired up with Jaina and now Zagara, this is actually very common right now in Heroes of the Storm.
Yeah, I like the way the Dark Blaze did it here. They've got 3 guys, well, 3 ladies actually, I should say. 1 assassin, 1 support, and 1 specialist.
Indeed.
They have 3 different roles, but in the end what they'll be doing is putting out so much damage and that vision control from Tyrande as well as Zagara. Now Dream Team, they said, okay, you're focusing heavy on the damage dealing, even if they have different roles. We're going to be taking a support character here. AK Phase is going for Brightwing with that global teleport that can get her across the map in just a jiffy.
Yeah, and on such a big map like this, that global presence that we will continually refer to is exactly that. The ability to be in one spot and then instantaneously in another is very powerful, especially on Cursed Hollow. Because of the 3 lanes, it's one of the biggest maps we have in rotation. And, you know, this Battleground is almost always going to be just such a flurry of activity. But we do have the potential for split attention in different lanes now with some of these picks.
Yep. Next one will be Michael Udall on the Vala, a strong backline assassin, very mobile. Is using a bow and arrow to do all sorts of flurry of arrows to assault the enemy. That is their 4th pick. And now we're getting to the real nitty-gritty. Dark Blaze will be choosing their last 2 characters, and of course we almost expect it to be nothing else than a support and a warrior. There is the support, Malfurion. We saw him in the previous match. He's a really good healer.
Yeah, overall, with that Tranquility at level 10, it's a big power spike. Malfurion players really do rack up some big healing numbers throughout the course of the game. And now, he and Tyrande playing up by M14, that is almost like a dream team by itself, despite the fact that Arizona State took that name. These two work very well in tandem, and between the two of them and that ETC on the front line, that is a very powerful combo.
The final choice there by Dream Team will be Tassadar. He's a good all-round hero. In fact, he's one of the most all-round heroes in the game. He's got healing, damage, he's got vision, he can save himself by going into a dimensional shift, and that will allow him to escape some punishment that the enemy team is trying to pile on him.
He's a little bit of a slippery character to lock down, especially later on when he can augment those abilities with those power gains at 13, at 16. So, you know, Tassadar, maybe not so much of an offensive character, but definitely one of the hardest to keep down. And, you know, he was the 5th overall popular pick when it comes to Heroes of the Storm. So, coming into this, on the left-hand side, guys, it will be Dark Blaze from University of Texas, Arlington. They're all doing their own little dances there, but D-Noob, Azumel, Claudius, DXN, and M14 W2 are going to be the representative.
All right, on the adversary, Dream Team Arizona State. They will be playing on Tassadar, Diablo, Brightwing, Vala, and Sylvanas, and they will be played by Kotank, AK Phase, Melkor, Michael Udall, and fam. Let's see if these boys can do it and take the victory from the opponent. Did you see that? That was an owl from the Tyrande character.
Exactly right.
She has revealed the enemy. She has seen that all 5 of the enemy heroes have congregated in the middle, which means they'll be extra careful.
Exactly. You do not want to overstep your bounds when you could be walking into a trap like that, especially early on. Now, we've talked a little bit about this before, but earlier on, we're going to see the experience gain. Well, not phase, but definitely a little bit of time here there for everyone to kind of be in those lanes. For example, Melkor needs those souls to start powering up that trait. Once he gets 100, he'll have a very quick respawn timer if he gets taken down. So that's a very important factor for Melkor. You don't want to be roaming around. You don't want to be going from lane to lane. You want to camp down and set down roots and get those souls under your belt.
Yeah, let's take a look at the bottom lane here where most of the heroes are finding themselves. There is a scouting drone a little bit above there. The red team has placed it to make sure that they don't get surprised from above. This is a 3 versus 3 situation, and fireworks can happen here as Claudius is trying to bring down waves of blizzard there, icy shards which damage and slow the opponent. They're being a little bit pushed back, but it could just be a tactical retreat.
Now, we do have a little bit of time before some of the bigger objectives on the map come around. So again, you're going to be looking at these players in these lanes looking to do as much damage as they can early on. If they can get a takedown, it's going to bolster your early game mentality. And if you time it out very well, we're going to be looking at some mercenary camp possibilities and the tribute spawns. And we're going to see all those in the next 60 seconds.
Yeah, exactly. This could happen anytime. Very, very soon. Now, you may have noticed a spreading out of purple territory. Within the center, something that is a little bit moving.
This is called bulbous.
Yeah, the little bulbous thingy. That is the work of Azumil. He's placing down more and more. He's got a number of them at his disposal regularly. And those are called creep tumors. They're spreading out creep. This is a type of territory that allows Azumil to have more movement speed, more regeneration, and furthermore, it gives vision. It allows them to see when the opponent is passing past it.
Now here comes the tribute. It is going to be spawning in the next few seconds. There it is, into this bottom lane as well. First one always spawns in the middle. We got to make it fair for these guys. They have to have a good chance in order to grab it from either side. Aquaface there does throw down that scouting probe, and that does do a lot of information. It just says, whoa, all right, there's all of Dark Blaze. I guess I got to be careful.
All right, 4 versus 4 situation here. They will have to try, and you see those blue wings, that is the tribute. They'll try to capture it so that they can get the curse on the opponent once they have 3. Fam starting to try and occupy it there, but you know, anytime you start to try and capture it, the enemy can try to interrupt you by attacking you, and that's exactly what DXN is doing. He's jumping in. The fight is picking up in speed. Caladius is trying to get away there. He's very hurt. Fam chases him down and gets him a takedown on both sides, actually. So it's now a 3v3, but Fam will take some heavy punishment there. Wow! Got taken down by M14 and Azumil.
Yeah, M14 with that Tyrande pick has been doing really good. They almost even take down AKA Face or Aquaface. But DXN is able to actually put that tribute into the pocket here of Dark Blaze, which is going to put them in a little bit more of a better situation as time goes on. Because, of course, 3 tributes in a row will be a very quick curse.
All right, let's look at what's happening now. One tribute occupied and captured by Dark Blaze, but the hero levels are still 6 versus 6. 2 versus 1 takedowns, but they still have all their forts. It's early game. It's a little bit of an advantage to Dark Blaze, but you won't notice that when you're fighting for the next one. You need all of 3 tributes indeed to get that curse. You can be as much ahead in it as you want, but if you lose the next fight, it can be disastrous.
And this is where we're going to be seeing now more mercenary takedowns like this. So once you do defeat them in their own element, they'll come out and enlist to your aid. And that means that those Siege Giants are going to be pushing down bottom, whereas you can see now the tribute spawning more towards the mid, but it is towards the side of Arizona State. So they will have a little bit more of a positioning advantage when they go to set up. You can already see now Tassadar going to be joining the fray. Malfurion, played out by Kotank for the Tassadar. Malfurion just, unfortunately, it looks like he went off for a vacation. But it's all good because, again, Arizona, with the positioning, they do set up very nicely, but they don't have their full power here.
Brightwing is now teleporting in. She was as long as possible at the bottom lane, providing pressure there. It's a 5 versus 5. And I've got to tell you, you noticed, Jester, as do I, time is working against Dark Blaze. Those 2 Siege Giants which were captured at the bottom lane. Let's take a quick look at them. They're ravaging at the bottom lane the enemy fortifications. They're left alone. No one is defending. Back to the fight. A 5 versus 5. Blue team knows we cannot make this last forever. The Siege Giants are going to wreak havoc. So they've got to pull back and go back to normal and say, okay, you got this one.
Yeah, it's definitely a game of decisions. At every turn in Heroes of the Storm, decisions need to be made. And right now, it might be game number 1, but Dream Team, they were able to get those mercenaries. A great decision because it was into the bottom lane, and that did force away Dark Blaze. If they weren't able to grab that tribute very quickly, then they were not able to just weather the storm, and they didn't want to lose too much for free in that bottom. So, a great decision there by Arizona State, puts them right back on the map.
Yeah, exactly. But now Dark Blaze will try to do the same. As we look at the left side, the Siege Giant camp is being attempted to be captured by Azumil and M14. And they will get it right as the next tribute is spawning. But they will not be as lucky. The place this tribute spawns is somewhat random, and now it will be at the top, which will potentially allow Dream Team to buy time, make sure that Dark Blaze cannot capture the tribute, at the same time clearing out the top Siege Giants. Let's see if that's what's going to happen, or will the fight pick up in earnest now already? M14 trying to capture the tribute. He did get cancelled. A big fight happening. This is a full 5 versus 4 situation, because actually one of the blue heroes isn't here yet. Blue needs to pull back. They're taking a lot of punishment already, and this was not the way they wanted to have it start. So Dream Team will take it out really, really swiftly.
It will be said a lot here in Heroes of the Storm. You are much stronger together as a team than split up. And Claudius there, he wasn't there. So it was that 5-on-4 scenario, and they didn't have the firepower to kind of punch through and take anything away from the Dream Team. So that is going to be a second tribute now to them. The top lane Siege Giants were cleaned up. They're no longer there, which means that so far, Arizona has actually dealt with a lot of the threats that Dark Blaze was able to throw at them. And now they're going to be looking, there it is, level 10. They've just gone way up in power.
Okay, there's a big fight here happening in the territory here, fighting over the Bruiser camp. You want to capture the Bruiser camp? We've got level 10. take some lightning breath here from Melkor. A wonderful damage there as they get a takedown on Malfurion, and it just shows. A few more seconds and Dark Blaze would have been level 10, but right those few seconds, they are the difference, and Dream Team is capitalizing on that advantage.
So not only did Dream Team actually capture those bruisers, but they get the kill, they scatter Dark Blaze to the other lanes, and because on the back of that, the tribute was right there as well. It was ripe for the taking, and Arizona is now going to be here with this curse, and it's up to Dark Blaze to really try to mitigate the amount of damage we're about to see.
And they're even finding themselves ambitious enough to try and steal the enemy Grave Golem here, and Azumil is going to have the shock of his life as he sees that they're actually trying to capture it here, and they're like, hey guys, you can't do this. Let's tone it down a little bit. We are here in almost full force, 4 versus 4, and you can't actually make this happen. So in the meantime, the curse is happening. Lane minions are pushing in, but this fight is what we'll be looking at. A big jump in there from DXN. Melkor there with the lightning breath. Force wall being used by Tassadar, zoning people out. This is just a big fight in full swing. 2 takedowns for Dark Blaze. And that means that they will probably get the spoils here and get the golem if they want to.
Well, you say that, Grubby, but this whole time, Blue Team has been cursed, and Dark Blaze has been suffering now almost all 3 forts going down simultaneously because they were not there to defend. It might have been the takedowns that went the way of Dark Blaze, but if you look lane to lane, we're actually going to see that there's no forts left at all for Dark Blaze.
Just a pile of rubble. That is the result of that curse, huh? Minions did it all by themselves.
So you might say, all right, they definitely didn't win that fight, but overall, with those 3 forts now in their pocket, they hit level 12 very quickly, and they're about to hit 13 here as well. And the consolation, they're going to grab their own Grave Golem as well for even more pushing power.
Yeah, so even though they went in and they got pushed back and lost 2 heroes, we could say it was worth it for them.
Decisions,
they got
man.
all 3 forts.
It was a smart decision to force that Grave Golem in the bottom lane.
So there's a lot more to it than meets the eye sometimes. I've said it before, Heroes of the Storm, a very strategical and deep game. Hero levels right now 12 versus 13. Correction, they just reached level 13. So Dream Team with an advantage. At level 13, every hero will unlock a new tier of power, a new ability that they can add to their repertoire, and they have reached that. So momentarily, before the enemy team gets their level 13 as well, they've got the advantage, and they're using that to get this golem.
And now this is very common. If later on into the game, if Team A takes a golem, Team B has to defend it, and that leaves us with a lot of map control for Team A to go grab the second one. That's exactly what just happened here. Arizona took that top, and now they've taken the bottom because we had to defend from Dark Blaze from that first. Now they're going to have to defend against the second, and that's why we're seeing now this more aggressive stance from Arizona. They're now pushing in on top of this keep. If they defend the keep, the Grave Golem in the bottom lane is going to do work. If they don't defend this mid, the mid will fall. It's a really good split situation for the Dream Team.
It's the catch-22. Defend the middle and you're going to lose the bottom. Defend the bottom, you're going to lose the middle.
Exactly.
Can you split your attention? Can you defend on two different fronts?
But it's not recommended.
It's risky, isn't it?
It is risky.
Leaving just a number of heroes against the full enemy 5 heroes is fraught with extreme risk, and it is a 5v5 here. As we just said, at the bottom there's a golem, but hold on a second. Azumil uses the Devouring Maul there. They're catching 2 of the heroes. Lots of damage there. One goes down immediately. The Sylvanas player, Melkor, is managing to get away there and extract himself from the situation. But was this not another sacrifice for the greater good here? 2 takedowns now. It looks like once again 2 will be taken down. But what damage was done there at the bottom left?
Unfortunately,
by that
just
golem?
not enough. It did not actually warrant out that team fight. This is a straight up win for Dark Blaze in this situation. It's not going to be game over from either side, but they definitely made very good use of Azumil. Azumil with that Devouring Maw did temporarily take down 2 opponents, which did set up for it very nicely with them, with Claudius, with DXN. They got in there, and now you saw so many takedowns, and map control does go back with another tribute as well into the pockets of Dark Blaze. If they can take a similar fight in about another minute and a half, they might actually be able to get a curse.
Yeah, that is true. Hero levels, they're still somewhat behind, 14 versus 15. They had momentary map control, but heroes, as the game goes on, when they get taken down, they'll take longer and longer to get back. We're not that far into the game yet, so all the heroes are already back for the Dream Team. So the map control situation has gone to a neutral state once again. But in that time, as you said, they got a curse, they got the enemy siege giants, and they got their own bruisers. Very soon another curse will be spawning, and this will be a pivotal moment in the game.
And that means that Arizona State really has to actually go and contest this tribute. It is going to be spawning into the top lane. There it is. It's even closer to Dark Blaze, which means that they will have less distance to travel in order to get to it. AKA Face is already there. He's setting up those scouting drones, and that's what those big circles are. That is a sphere of vision available now to Arizona. It's really hard to sneak up on a team that have probes set and ready to deploy. Already, you can see it's a big target to take them down here from Dark Blaze, but this is a big objective for the Dark Blaze to grab.
Now all the heroic abilities are available once again, but one thing that has to be said, in the middle lane, Sylvanas was still defending against a mercenary camp. She's going to be coming in now, so now the red team is ready to start and fight for this. They will interrupt Claudius, who is trying to get the tribute, and now it's a 5 versus 5. Dream Team is level 15, so is Dark Blaze, but Dream Team is very close to getting 16. If they can get 16 before this fight starts, that would give them a massive advantage.
And there it is. Yeah, so once more, a big power spike has now been afforded to the Dream Team. Now they're done waiting. They're going to go in for this. Melkor into the front there with the help of Fam is able to get the kill. There's the Lightning Breath. It might actually grab M14 as he is on the retreat, but it doesn't actually look like she will live, at least for now. We have lost out one player on each side, but there's the Force Wall, and Claudius is going to get collapsed upon. He has nowhere to go. That Force Wall will not let you go through it. That is, you know, the combination of those two words, force and wall. You cannot do anything in order to get rid of it. You can't circumvent it, and Claudius on the Jaina has no innate escapes either, so she can't hop it or anything like that. So the 16 power spike was really good for Arizona State. They get 2 takedowns, and now they even get a 3rd.
Yeah, wonderful job by Kotank there, getting that kill, getting that takedown there, and one more here on Azumil, which means they can take the enemy siege giants. Owl there, a sentinel from M14. He has revealed where the enemy is, but he can't really do anything about it. He's got to wait until his allies are back on the battleground.
And while we do wait for the allies really to come back to this, you know, there are still many things to be doing on this map. Go grab some experience in the lane, clear out a push, go capture a mercenary camp. That's exactly what we see here with the Dream Team. Arizona once more going for the very powerful Grave Golem. This is going to start putting pressure on the top lane, and just like what I said before, if you get the one Grave Golem, you're almost guaranteed to grab the second if you are leading the game, because the opponents, Dark Blaze, they're going to be forced to defend against this, which means that Arizona is free to kind of roam the map and do any other objectives they see fit.
Yeah, that's right. But experienced players, as they are, Dark Blaze, they know the enemy golem just got captured. It's a difficult situation. Are they going to defend the golem? Are they going to zone out the enemy from their second golem? Or are they going for the tribute? They can't really let the top golem push by itself, because it would do massive damage on the keep, maybe take it down. It's just like you said, Jester, it creates an opportunity. It's like a game of ping pong. They shoot the golem to the top, now they can go to the bottom. They keep the enemy on their toes.
Yep, and you really do got to keep your opponents on your toes, especially here in the Super 16, because these are very skilled teams that have beaten over 880 other teams to get here into this bracket. So they do, Arizona does grab that second Grave Golem, and you know, we have actually another tribute on the map. It's way up in the top, but unfortunately, again, we have dictated the movements of Dark Blaze. They were very much forced on the defensive. They could not spare the firepower to go grab this tribute.
Yeah, I want to really congratulate AK Face here, who saw that the opponent, besides trying to defend the golem, there was one missing. He noticed this. He went to the tribute and he interrupted the enemy player who almost captured the tribute just in time, just in the nick of time, which prevents the Dream Team from being cursed now. It's a 2 out of 3 versus a 2 out of 3 situation. The next curse will be tantamount importance of this game.
So we've now actually cleaned up both of the Grave Golems. Arizona State looking to actually steal out these bruiser camps, but they're really taking their time about it. They're being very careful. We do have that scouting drone out and ahead. M14 takes it down with the Tyrande bow shots, but it's a very hesitant situation here. It's only one level between them, and relatively, I mean, we don't have really that many takedowns, but it's getting to be a very key part of the game where those timers where you're taken out start getting extremely long.
Yes, exactly. So you've got to play increasingly more careful, but that also means you can go in really hard when the opponent is too careful. A force wall being placed there by Kotang, trying to zone some people out. That's his heroic ability. It can be used every 12 seconds. A big initiation there from DXN as he jumps in with the ETC. He's going to get polymorph, takes a lot of damage, but that's a warrior. He's got a big health pool. He's not down yet. They're pulling to the left here. They're chasing a tasty morsel there, but he got away. Now comes the force wall from Melkor, but his whole ally team is being captured in the Devouring Maw. An awesome move there by Azumil.
Yeah, that was absolutely the game-changing ability right there from the Zagara play, from Azumel. Now, Azumil's not really looking so hot. After that, the collapse did not really seem to actually be there from Dark Blaze. They tried to force and chase down the rest of Arizona State, but so far they've only taken one takedown where they've suffered 3. And that means that, you know, right now you can see D-Noob, he's going to be in a little bit of trouble. He's going to get cut off by Kotank, and unfortunately, I do not see him getting out of that one. And there's the takedown and the curse for Arizona. This is a dire situation for Dark Blaze.
Boy, what a turnaround actually. As it's actually the red team that is cursed. The Zagara, she had a wonderful Devouring Maw. They lost a lot of heroes, but they did get the tribute. It's exactly what they needed.
I'm actually rather surprised that the tribute did actually go into the hands of Dark Blaze. So
Azumil had a wonderful Devouring Maw, but they somehow lost the fight. 4 takedowns were suffered, but they got the tribute.
Credit to them.
They snuck it off.
Credit to them. Yeah, Dark Blaze, you know, University of Texas, Arlington, really bringing the plays here into this later game. All right, so Arizona's on the defensive. That is not the end of the world here because some of these forts, they've lived a long time. 18 minutes is a good long life for a fort. And, you know, Arizona, it's coming down to some pressure on top of them, but it's not going to be the end-all. As well, level 20 has now been achieved, and those Storm talents have come into the game for the Dream Team.
They're so powerful, Storm talents. They allow you to pick a variety of different skill and power bolstering abilities like Bolt of the Storm, which allows you to teleport a small area, or a more powerful rendition of your heroic tier talent like Lightning Breath, becoming bigger. You can cast a shield that protects your entire ally team for a short amount of time, and to go up against the level 20 with the Storm tier talents as not being level 20 is a risk. I'm not going to say it's a mistake or impossible to win that fight, but it is a big risk. You're at a disadvantage, and to see a victory emerging from those conditions would be amazing. But more safe than that is to try and pull back, gather a little bit of experience, and try to get parity in that situation and get level 20 yourself.
It's definitely a monumental task. I liked the grouping here from Dark Blaze. They're all sticking around with each other. That is going to draw the full power of their team, because that is what makes or breaks a lot of these games between these teams. How well as a team do they work together? They roamed into the bottom, they got the fort, they're now currently in the mid. But what is Arizona doing this whole time? They didn't really lose out too much with that curse, and now once more they have captured a Grave Golem.
Yeah, I mean, they lost 2 forts, but forts are, let's say, expendable. It's losing a keep that really hurts, and this is the unfortunate situation that Dark Blaze is suffering from. Now they have to contend with a Golem. The Golem is going to push at the top, but they've seen this before. Guess what? Deja vu. You get the one Golem, you're going to try and go for the other one. They're trying to defend it, but really they can't, as the Golem inexorably approaches closer to the keep. But they're trying to do the unexpected here. They're sticking around.
They are sticking around.
They're not defending the top Golem.
They're looking for an ambush. If they can take a really good engage here, they might be able to buy themselves a little bit of time. But the problem is, the longer they wait, or the longer that Arizona suspects something is going on, because they're not defending right now, they have to be somewhere, right? That this is getting worse and worse for Dark Blaze.
And DXN jumps in there, forceful, zones out his allies. He needs his allies. He gets taken down. The Ragdoll flies up into space as he gets taken down. Poor DXN, a 5 versus 4 situation, and they're suffering the bitter taste of loss there as DXN gets taken down. The Golem, in the meantime, he's taken down that keep.
Yep, he's pushing down on top of that core, and that is where, right now, that's where Dark Blaze is. They're not here contesting.
Let's look at their core.
They have to be on that defense. I mean, the Golem is going to get cleaned up, but once more, another curse. We had 2 tributes in the pockets there of Arizona State. Now they've traded in 3 of a kind for a curse, and the Raven Lord is very generous with his curses, because at 21 minutes in, this actually might be game.
Yeah, it's a 5 versus 4 situation. They're going in maybe a little bit too soon here, I think, but they did get paid off for their efforts. It's a 5 versus 4. That is a big advantage at this level. A devouring ball there takes the golem and 3 of the enemy heroes, but will they be able to follow up? It doesn't
20,
look like it. The
15,
core
10,
is too
5.
low. 0%.
0%, and that is how you win here in Heroes of the Storm. And putting up a point here in this best of 3, it will be advantage to the dream team of Arizona State here in the Super 16, the Heroes of the Dorm.
Yeah, wonderful victory there for the dream team. They got a 1-0 lead, but keep in mind, it's best 2 out of 3 matches. And an honor will be bestowed upon their, well, the ones that were defeated, as they will be able to pick the second Battleground of this match, and that may give them some distinct advantages.
Well, as we saw in our first match, it didn't actually go the way of the second match, because that is going to be their pick. The losers of this first one gets to pick the second. Can Dark Blaze actually bring us forth a very practiced strategy on a map that they really know intimately? And it's going to be their choice for the Battleground. I'm hoping that they will bring the pain here.
I'm impressed by the players from the University of Texas versus the Arizona State University. They've brought a level of play that is really good. I want to say maybe even a little bit higher than the first match we saw. If the winner of this match is going to face the other one, I think the other one might be a little bit in trouble. Very high level play here, and it was close all the way until the end. There was never a higher level disparity than just 1 or 2.
1 or 2, but sometimes, again, at those certain tiers, that 1 or 2 is a big representation in power. We're actually going to jump into one of the replays, one of the key moments here of our previous match, and something that we don't talk a lot about, but Tassadar, the force wall. You can see Kotank up there. I mean, he's dealing with not only the mob, but we got the Starfall. We are looking at Claudius into the bottom there on that Jaina. Force wall right here, cannot escape, and the collapse. Melkor jumping in with that shadow charge, and the rest of the team of Arizona State. That was a big point for them, because it not only revealed that force wall, but they also got the kill. Again, force wall right here. Kotank, the rest of the team from Dark Blaze could not follow up for the ETC, and it was a great stage dive. Unfortunately, just when you're denied access to your rockers, they are just going to fall unsupported.
Yeah, wonderful moves there by Kotank. Tassadar, he's a character, we said, he's very versatile. He fits into any role, he can heal, he can do damage. Also interestingly to say is that every hero has 2 different choices at the heroic tier.
They do.
Tassadar, traditionally, he has seen a lot of picks in the Archon ability at the heroic tier. This transforms him into a powerful ethereal being, almost grounded in another realm, with a powerful electric splash damage attack that can damage multiple enemies. This is both the more flashy one, as it has been the more popular one for a long time. But Force Wall, man. Force Wall.
I had a little bit of a freak out moment. It's like, oh wow, it's Force Wall. But unfortunately, I mean, it worked out really great, but trying to work that in sometimes it's a little hectic, because these teams are off the charts. And speaking of, we're going to have game number 2 ready for you guys in a few moments after we take a quick commercial break. Stay tuned.